allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Susie, roll call, please.
Councilmember Groves.
I'm here.
Councilmember Chambers.
Here.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Here.
Councilmember Yankovic.
Here, and I did respect the memo urging us to wear the gray shirts.
I did not get gray, I got black, so therefore the memo meant nothing to me.
And Mayor DeVore.
I am here in gray. For the consent agenda, I'd like to add under new business item B, King Milling parking variance. Any objections to that? Everybody got that email?
I checked before I got here, I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, I don't think I have
Okay, I'll read it to you then. Susie, you have it, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Any other discussion or changes? Yep, motion to approve as amended.
Make that motion?
Any other questions? Sue?
Councilmember Groves.
that. Yes.
Mayor DeVore.
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic.
Yes.
And Councilmember Chambers.
Yes. Public comment?
Good evening, Perry Beecham, reside at 924 Riverside Drive. A couple things. Today is July 18th. August 18th will be the Community Day for Pink Arrow. It's coming up. There'll be a blood drive, so encourage people to get out and participate. Pink Arrow game will be September 1.
Impact?
Impact. Yep, this is where the Community Day will be. Secondly, at the last council meeting, I brought up the disappointment I had with the car dealership, West Michigan Auto or whatever that was down at the fairgrounds. I want to address that, and not just that, but moving forward, and I know that Mike Burns at the end of that meeting thought that they couldn't refuse anybody if they met all the criteria. My suggestion is that the city would look at rewriting, or I don't know if it means ordinances or regulations, because I'm looking at it from a different perspective, that public land, which again, that was a parks, I feel like my tax dollar shouldn't be there supporting a for-profit company. And that's what that was, is a for-profit. I have no problem with nonprofits, you know, like the youth fair, the football, anything that has a nonprofit status or acts as a nonprofit. What I do is I just think it's wrong for my tax dollars, and I'm talking to me personally, is going to support a for-profit business. I look at, you've been able to write regulations that limit where marijuana facilities, cannabis facilities can be in the city and everything. So I would think that there would be a way that you could write something into the city, whether it's ordinances or regulations, that would limit who can use the parks. And again, and I know that the auto did donate money, but it didn't go to the city, it went to the youth fair. And so again, therefore, just iterate, my tax dollars was mowing, different, you know, anything that goes on there was supporting a for-profit company. And again, thank you.
Thanks, Barry. Anybody else? Fact towns? All right. Nothing in old business. New business item A is the fire authority agreement. Did everybody get that one?
Yes.
Okay. So let me back this up. About a year ago, Jim and I got talking exactly about what Perry's just talking about how it's time to look at, with the growth and the changes, some of these agreements and update them, make them a little more modern. So we did that with the fire authority. We had a workshop meeting. We were able to, we eliminated a couple of the antiquated agreements and lumped them all into two. The problem is, this one has to go to individual municipalities for a vote. So it's been edited by the fire authority. We feel it reflects the current state of the department. Shannon was going to be here tonight, but Lowell Township got to him first and called dibs. So we had the fire authority attorney take this to all three of the municipal attorneys. So Jessica has seen it, and it's pretty in line with what we're trying to do over at the fire authority. There was a date that needed to be changed from 2016 to 2022, and I believe Tim Wittenbach's last name was misspelled in the signature line. So those two changes will be made before we approve the final agreement, but we need municipal support to do that going forward.
And what was your take on the municipalities will go tonight after their meeting?
Yeah, everybody meets tonight, so we kind of got lucky with the timing. We had a fire authority meeting last Thursday, so we were able to approve it as a board and get it back to everybody. So hopefully when we meet in August, which will probably be a week late because that second Thursday is Fair Week and we're not trying to have a meeting down there during Fair Week because people use that building. So hopefully by the 1st of September it'll be adopted.
And you guys were all, I mean, everybody on the fire authority supported it.
Yes, supports the final copy, yeah. So when it was written, it was a 15-member, 250 call a year, you know, basically a volunteer department. Now we're going to have almost 1,300 this year, and 30 full members and 2.5 full-timers and a dog. And new equipment and new training and just new. In order to keep moving forward, this agreement needed to be updated, and I didn't want, as a board, we didn't want to do anything to hinder what Shannon's trying to do over there, because we think he's doing an awesome job. So that's what we think this agreement reflects, is the growth of the department and the future growth. So, any questions for me? And I will make a motion that we approve the fire authority agreement updated with the date and the spelling change.
I'll support.
Any other discussion? Sue?
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Groves.
Yes. Do you have that email, Sue?
Yes.
Sorry. Mike sent this out on Friday, and I don't know if everybody got it, but it's from Brian Doyle. It just basically says, can we get permission again for our employees to park at the King Building on a temporary basis while the new construction is happening? You can let us do that. Well, the packing building was under construction, and the employees thought it worked out very well. The DEQ did issue them the permit last week, so the building permit will be filed and they'll be underway soon. So basically, yes,
Started when?
when they get the building permit, they're going to,
Bears coming up.
yes, they know about that. They're not going to interfere with Fair. So outside of Fair Week, which Brian, they're pretty good about that.
They're going to park on the back side of that building,
Yes,
right?
yep. And I believe they use part of the city lot too, but with the chargers and the traffic, they don't want to be bogged down that lot. And it seems to be easier because of construction, and they can leave stuff instead of having to take it home every day.
They don't require that many parking
No.
spots, do they? I think so.
No, just a few at the King Building, normal business hours, I'd imagine. There's not going to be construction third shift, so they'll still be.
Right. They did increase their new parking lot once it's done by, I believe,
Yeah.
6
Six
spots.
spots.
So they're going to fill that whole green space in with parking, so asphalt.
Anybody need this email? Want to see it?
Nope.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the King Milling's use of the King Building parking lot during construction.
I'll support.
Any other discussion? Sue?
Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
Mayor DeVore.
Yes. Cliff Gordon Commission.
Everybody's been,
River walking?
no, just putting it off.
Oh,
We couldn't
okay.
get a quorum for trails last week, so hopefully we're gonna have one this Thursday. But, yeah.
Jim?
We had our low light and power. They selected the chairman and vice chair. They stayed the same. There's no chair. That would be Mr. Beecham and Mr. Schraben are the two. After two long years, the dock addition is nearing an end. I believe that's the Valley Vista area and where everything is underground. That's been that things. Paperless billing is up. Continues to grow. That more and more people are utilizing that. They are still having one issue with a specific bank. That's still an issue. Last one is Lisa. I don't know if anybody has got to meet her yet over at Low Light and Power. She's taken over for Sharon in that capacity, plus many more. She just celebrated her first year. And I met her today, so that's it for me.
I will say that that online bill pay with the new app, I had an issue with it, and it was Apple Pay. And I emailed somebody at Light and Power, and they were back to me within an hour, and it was fixed within 3. So it's a pretty cool way to worry about one less bill. Leah?
Parks and Rec meets tomorrow. We'll be going over the survey results that we have for the rec plan. That's exciting. Chamber, we are also sort of looking through our bylaws, sort of dissecting it and taking out things that are no longer needed and updating it.
Did you get a decent response on the survey? Or
TBD.
a num?
We got an interesting response on the survey.
I might go to this Parks meeting. That's Marty.
Planning commission was canceled, so I'm good until next time we all meet.
We already covered Fire Authority. Shannon did promote 2 more from probationary to full firefighter EMT. So staffing over there is probably the best it's been, at least since I've been around. So the buy-in is even better. Any discussion on any of the budget reports? Monthly reports? There's no city manager, Dan, do you have anything? No. Okay. No appointments? Cliff, council comments.
I would just like to remind the public that no one, to the best of my knowledge, no city employee or elected official is trying to coerce anyone into having solar panels on their building. It was a Facebook thing.
Good word.
Well, I don't know why people would want to put a 30-year product on a 20-year, on top of a 20-year product. Because your solar panels are, you'll get 30 years out of it. Standard roof is only 20, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The only reason
Floating solar panels.
Maybe.
The only reason I bothered responding to it is because it is so far from the truth, because I asked Charlie on the regular, hey, are you ever going to come up with a solar panel program? Because consumers did it for a while, and so the exact opposite is true. There is no program.
Jim?
Monday, we are hosting the annual show boat bath to clean up from all the bugs over the summer. So we'll be looking for some volunteers. It's going to start at noon. I'll be down there with pressure washers. So bring your swim trunks and a t-shirt. And
You'll let me play with it if I show up?
yes, I will.
What's the date?
Monday, the 25th. But I can only do till 3:30 because we have a special meeting we have to.
Well, by that power wash, we'll be done
That's
at
correct.
12:30.
Exactly. I'm just letting you know I will be there.
I will be coming back with hot water then.
That's okay. I'm safe. So hopefully we can get that thing back shining.
Did you get a hold of them about the paint along the riverside where it's peeling off?
I talked to your brother about that. He's going to get back with me on the paint. It's the black part of it,
Right.
not the white. Yeah, he'll be getting back with me on that as well.
I've got a question
Yes.
for Jim.
Yes.
On the showboat.
Yes.
Mike gave me, we have to have the boat inspected as a vehicle for the Secretary of State. You know anything about that?
No, I know that the attorneys were looking for a title to
Yes.
that, and apparently when they built the boat, they should have actually given us a title. I think our attorneys are working on that title as we speak, and once we have that title, then we'll be able to, you know, to make a deal with the city on how the 501(c) obtains that title and the owner, so right
What is
now.
the official classification of the?
I would say it's a barge because there's absolutely no motor or anything on it. It doesn't go up and down. I would classify it as a barge.
So
But
would
then,
that
then again, I'm not sure. I'll have to wait till we see what the title says.
Isn't that why we had
The,
a hard time getting it
Yes.
insured? Because it's not really a building and it's not really a boat.
Well, Mike gave me, he said he talked to the attorney, and then the only form I could find was for like a car, for a title, for to do a title, to apply for a
Yeah.
title. Then I did some research on the internet, and some guys were talking about you have to go make an appointment with the Secretary of State, sit down and explain what you have, because it's a homemade thing. And I guess it's a little bit more of a process than just sending in a form.
As long as I don't have to put a $75 plate on it, trailer forever, you know.
Yeah, I don't, I'll be able to put all numbers on it or what, so.
But wouldn't that be from Moran that would have
Well, that's
issued
what
that?
Mike was thinking. It should have came from them, some form of a title, but, you know, it wasn't from
There's,
the owner, so.
there's no builder plate or serial number on that boat anywhere, is there?
I have no idea. I wouldn't know where to look if it did. I mean, we do have a copy of the as-built thumb drives, but that came from Wolverine. It didn't come from Moran or anybody like that.
So this is showboat
Six.
six.
SB
So we can
six.
always just put, you know, number 6, we can
Yeah.
pencil that in. We'll hang 4 tires around it, so when you do your inspection as a auto,
You gotta have turn signals and windshield wipers too.
we got a windshield.
We have no white.
And we're gonna stand up there and use our arm as a,
We have public wipers.
I can tell you that we went out and did get our own insurance, which saved us about $7,000, so we will not be using the city
Good.
insurance policy this year. So it's a pretty good savings for us, and
Yeah.
hopefully it keeps you guys with this year's not going up from insurance. So we got our own.
I am just going to add off of what Beth said. Actually, I think that it is important to remind ourselves that it is election season, and people will say whatever they want to say to make you believe their agenda, and make you believe that they're sincere. You should do some research before you post about it. That's it.
my turn?
mm-hmm.
Can we turn the camera on the old guy sitting here, please?
Don't do this.
Last year he was 100 years old.
Yeah.
Mike was born
1 year later, I
about
lost
the
14
same time
years.
dirt was invented. So yes,
Doing good.
today is Mike's birthday. And
Cliff posted something about, apparently somebody doesn't know how to count right, because he had 86
yeah.
You're right, I forgot the
handles
number.
on there.
Oh.
I told Marty, it
68.
No,
came from the mayor, so.
I think
Do we have a mayor?
it should be his birthday.
He has a title
We
anyway.
should always celebrate the only survivor from the original Jurassic Park. Anything else?
God said
Well,
go
that's it.
alone, but.
Yeah. No more from the audience. To follow up what Cliff and Leah said,
Okay.
it should also be noted that nobody, to my knowledge, on this board has any interest in selling the Scout property, despite the flyers being handed out around town. I've mentioned it before, I'll continue to mention it. Repeating a lie doesn't make it the truth. And we're accessible if you have questions. The internet is the absolute worst place on earth to have a debate. And
Not even the internet, social media.
social media is the absolute worst place on earth to have a debate. This comes up every few years, and I don't know how it starts or where it comes from, but when I was first elected, that was the #1 thing people asked of me. Don't sell the Scout property to developers. And it's a parkland, and the process to sell city parks is very detailed and difficult. And if you see it on a flyer, it's not the truth. Jim?
I forgot to say one comment is that we had the race down at
Oh.
and there were 4 attendees that sit here, and there were some pretty cool cars. I think Marty had the coolest car. It was put together really well, and I had this piece of yellow car that I didn't sand, I didn't do anything with it.
Well, you had to fix it because your neighbors,
My neighbor's 1-year-old daughter, or 1 year and a half, came over, and she's sitting at the kitchen table, and I have my car there, and she wants to see it, so I let her do it. She's pushing back forth, and all of a sudden she goes like this. And all 4 wheels the nails come out of the car. So I ended up spending 20 minutes before I went downtown to get it fixed. So I ended up winning, believe it or not, but I got bragging rights. I smoked them on the first 2 races, and Marty.
Show them your visible trophy.
I
Oh,
lost.
I did have a picture of it on my phone, but I didn't do it.
But the best part was my brother Mikey, most of you know my brother Mikey. And he was making side bets that his car could beat everybody. And his car takes off down the hill and got about halfway down the track and just stopped.
Didn't even make it. He had to slow us down.
It was so much fun. I hope
So,
next year we get more, we can get some department heads and just make a whole thing of it. I took a respectable 4th.
awesome, yeah, out of 4?
Oh,
You guys were not, the Pistons, you guys counted?
Yep, you guys got DNQs, did not qualify. So I took a 6th.
Chief, did they have license plates on those cars when he did the race?
Yes, I did.
Like I said, Marty's car was really down.
Yeah, but it's got-
I had a Michigan, I found a little sticker that was a Michigan license.
It was a lot of fun.
Very
Congratulations, Jim.
Yeah. And you were gonna build yourself the trophy, if I remember.
We're looking for it, and yes, I'm still gonna do it, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I can't wait for next year, because I think, Chief, you're gonna get involved, or Dan, I'd like you to, it's a lot of fun. And the people down there were having a good time.
And it only lasts about an hour.
Yeah.
All the races and all the kids that they had, we were done with it in an
It
hour.
was in the social district?
It's actually in the fire department.
No, it was too early to do
Next year,
It's in the
next year.
social district, so.
I don't think the parking garage is a social district.
Yeah.
Okay.
And next year, we're gonna see if we can loop it down to Showboat and come around a bunch of curves like this and all the way down to the bottom. It will be good, but it was good. So with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:23.
I'll support it.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.